Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing an art project about fall leaves. And you can either go grab some leaves on your own um, outside your house or school or wherever you're located if you're allowed. Or you can use the leaves that I'm going to show you up here on the screen, which I have all these different kinds, so you can use those. Um, what I want you to think about while you're doing these fall leaves are several things I want you to notice are the shapes of the leaves, how some of them are just a solid edge all the way around, kind of like a teardrop shape, or aspen leaves are kind of like a fat teardrop or a chocolate kiss type shape. Or we've got maple leaves, which are kind of like somebody with two arms coming off the side. We've got these leaves, which kind of look like a cross between this one and this one, where you have one thing in the middle and two on the side, but these look like they're actually separate leaves. And so this is an example of what I'm talking about there. So it's like three leaves on one stem, but then this one is like one leaf with three different parts to it. So they're similar, but they're different. Then we have this kind, which I found at Clayton Lake State Park. Wow, that was a tongue twister. And it kind of looks like that Hershey's Kisses fat teardrop shape that I was talking about, like this one, but it has these wavy edges, which I thought were just so cool. So I brought home a leaf to show you guys. I thought the edges were just round, so neat and rounded. Usually you have these pokey edges, but these were so rounded. So I brought one of those. Um, and then we have this kind of leaf, which I think this is from my box elder tree in the backyard, but they've got these pokey edges on this one. So very pointy, pokey edges, kind of like the maple leaf. Um, and then I don't have examples of these. I just know that I've seen leaves like this before, and I thought to include them. So those are a couple of the different kinds of leaves that I've got laying around in my house, in my yard. Oh, and here's this one. And so one thing is I wanted you to notice the shape. Are they round? Are they long? Are they three-pronged? Are they fat? Are they, there are multiple leaves on one stem? And then the other thing I want you to notice when you're looking at these leaves are the veins. Usually you have one central vein going up from the stem all the way to the top. These veins, I'm calling them veins because they're like the veins in your skin that carry nutrients to and from your heart and your lungs. But these are carrying nutrients from the stem, from the tree trunk to the roots, all the way up to the tips of the leaf. So you have one main leaf through the middle, okay? And then you have these other little veins and capillaries coming off the edge, okay? So for all of these leaves, make sure when you're drawing you have at least one vein in the middle and then a couple coming off to the side. Now if you really were to look at this close, you'd see that there's other veins coming off the sides of those secondary veins. So you have a lot of veins on your leaf depending what kind you pick that you can, and you can choose how detailed you want to go. If you draw every single one of these, it's going to end up looking like too many veins. So just stick with the main ones, okay? Something else I want you to notice is the color. The veins on this leaf are yellow. So rather than drawing the vein first and then coloring over it, because that won't work well with yellow, I would just color it with yellow. So for example, like this leaf right here, how the veins are yellow but red around the outside. And take notice of the other colors. We've got like this brown color, orange here, red veins at the end, a little bit of green, all those colors. And I want you to show me those the best you can when you're drawing these leaves. Okay? This one's also kind of neat. These two maple leaves are my favorite. I like aspen leaves too, but these are just so pretty. This one's green and then red and then like an orangish brown on the outside, and this one's red with brown on the outside. So see what kind of colors you come up with in the leaves that you have, or you can use mine. And we're gonna just fill this page with big leaves today. Don't draw little tiny ones because they're too hard to color and show the details. Make them big. And you can literally outline these if you want to when we're drawing them. Okay? So, get your paper out and your leaves, and let's see, what do I want to use? I think I'm going to use this giant leaf. I didn't use this one last time, so I'm going to use this giant leaf right here. Now I am actually just going to trace it. You know why I'm choosing to trace it? Because I'm not very good at drawing the pokey points in this leaf by myself. I'm just not very good at it. So I'm going to actually trace this leaf. And you can too. No shame. Okay, here's my leaf. And I know when I draw this that my main leaf vein is going to go up from the stem to the tippy top. And there's probably going to be a vein going out to each of these points. So we have this vein here, goes all the way out there. We have, looks like a main vein that comes about here and goes off this way and this way. Another vein here. And wherever there's a point, you have another vein usually coming off of it. Here. Okay, so we got some veins in our leaf, something like that. Okay, then I might draw my other leaves first if I were you, and then get into the color, but just in case we have technical difficulties, I'm going to go ahead and stick with this one and start here. So the veins are kind of a yellowish orange. I'm going to find the closest thing I've got to a yellow orange, and I'm going to outline my veins. Some of them are red towards the edge, so I might just like go to here, and then the rest of those look red to me. So just the base of my veins look kind of yellow, and then it goes to red on the outside. So I don't know if you've ever learned this, but these are called organic shapes. Organic means it's not something you would use in math class to measure this area or find the distance. Those geometric shapes have a name like square and star and circle and rectangle, quadrilateral, stuff like that. But leaves, organic shapes, are shapes that look more like an amoeba, or they don't have a particular name and you can't find the area super easily. So these would be good examples of an organic shape. Also, fun fact that I want you to remember while we're doing this is what type of a tree these come from. Hopefully you remember that from about first grade, I think, is when my kids learned about it, but these come from deciduous trees, which are trees that lose their leaves in the fall and they grow back in the spring. And so the other type of trees are called coniferous trees, like evergreens, like pine trees and firs that some people like to use for Christmas, and blue spruce. Those are those forest trees that have pine needles and cones and they don't lose their leaves. And they stay evergreen. Unless they get eaten by beetle kill, which is no good, but it happens around here. Okay, so here's the base of my leaf. Now I'm looking back and I'm seeing that there's some green in between, but in general, the background of this leaf is going to be yellow. A little bit of brown here if I want to go back, but in general it's yellow. So I'm going to start with yellow as my base for coloring this leaf. And if I wanted, I could just leave it yellow, but I'm probably gonna go back because I'm a perfectionist and add some of these colors that are in this leaf here. Some of this green and this brown, a little bit of orange in spots. You can use crayons, or if you've got colored pencils, you can use colored pencils like I am, or you could use oil pastels are really good for this project. But since I wasn't sure if you had oil pastels, I stuck with colored pencils because most teachers have colored pencils on their list for supplies, so I figured most of you guys probably have colored pencils or crayons. Okay, so the cool thing about leaves is we're talking about shapes, we're talking about lines, and now we're going to talk about shading, some values. Okay, so we've got yellow and red, and now I'm going to add some orange on the outside, it looks like, and some green in the middle. So I'm going to get this light orange, kind of like an orangey brown, so I'm going to start adding some orangey hues to the outside of this leaf. And then I may go back and add some more brown because it looks like there's some brown in it too. Oops. Some brown. Gotta sharpen that pencil too. I am gonna run out of sharpened pencils. They're getting smaller and smaller. Alright, now I'm going to go back and add some green. Looks like we've got some green here. It's like a greenish brown. I'm not really sure what kind of color that is. Great thing about leaves is no matter what color you pick along the leaf spectrum, there's so many different kinds of leaves and shades, and every one of them is unique, kind of like snowflakes, right? That's kind of starting to look like that leaf. I could probably use some darker browns in here in the middle to show that kind of brownish green spots in the middle. And I'm going to go back over that with yellow again. My yellow veins. Alright, that's kind of close. Alright, so there's my leaf right there. And then if you want to, you can go ahead and add some more leaves. I might put some maples on there. I really like the shape of this one, so I might add that one too. And you can do however many leaves you want, but I need at least one big leaf to take up a good chunk of the page. Please don't draw little tiny leaves because the veins won't look good and you won't be able to do a great job shading. Oh yeah, that one's cool looking. We're gonna make it symmetrical. That means that if you cut the paper in half, it'll look the same on both sides, because it's a mirror image. Okay, so again, even with these rounded leaves, going to be one vein through the middle that kind of goes all the way to the point. And then to these little cute rounded humps on the side. It's like this main vein kind of goes here and then branches off to these other spots, which I like. It's kind of cool. And then those other veins kind of go up towards the top. Alright, so we got that. So I'll let you go ahead and color the rest of yours. You don't need to watch me color to know how to color yours now that you've seen how I would go about it. But I just wouldn't use like colors that you don't see on a normal leaf. Like you don't see a lot of bright purple or bright blue leaves. I mean, there's some that exist on different kinds of tropical plants and stuff, but I would stick with fall colors like yellow, orange, red, brown, green, like a mauve color. And this one's really neat here. I might do this one for another activity. It's kind of hard to focus on it, but it's green veins with a red around it and then orange and brown at the end. Can't really focus it, but it looks neat. And I'll do some maple leaves up here. Something like that. Alright, and that is what we're doing today. So hopefully that kind of explained what we're doing. We're doing shapes with lines and different shading. Can't wait to see your pictures. Please upload them on Artsonia to your portfolio so I can see your work. Thanks. Bye.